as someone who's traveled to almost 100 countries, to talk to you about some things that I think you will find relevant once you think about how to apply them. Let me start with my shirt. Although my students know me, I'm usually the brightest dressed person around. I did this on purpose because I bought this shirt in Nairobi, Kenya. And I carried my notes in this bag, which I bought in a small city in southern Laos a few weeks ago when I was doing some other work for my foundation. And of course, the point is that all of us are global all the time. I remember the first time I went to China, I opened my suitcase in my hotel in Beijing, looked at my clothes, and said, "Welcome home." Because, in fact, most of them said made in China. And we know that that's the way the world is. My guess is if we went around and looked at labels on clothes, on shoes, asked about the origin of the various kinds of food, we'd probably put together the list of 2 or 3 dozen countries right here in this room. And therefore, I think even though we say that a lot, and we talk about globalization a lot, we forget the different ways in which it works. We need to remember, for example, that something that happens in Kenya, which is very far away from here, I know because I was there a couple weeks ago, and it seemed like I was always on planes to get here. Things that happen in Kenya matter here, and vice versa. One of the most interesting statistics I've seen recently is the list of all the 50 US states answering this question: what's the third most common language spoken in each of the states? English is first and Spanish is second in all of the states. But the list of third languages is surprising. In my home state of New York, it's Chinese. In Texas, it's Vietnamese. And in California, by far our biggest state, is Tagalog. And that's shocking to people. For one thing, most people in America would say, where does that language come from? Doesn't sound anything like Philippines, unlike French and France, or German and Germany. And so we are aware of the fact that we have a mixture of peoples, and sometimes we read about the mixture of peoples that's unintended. The refugees from Syria who are coming to Turkey and to Europe and so on. But we know that people as well as things, and when people and things are all over the world from every place, it means also there's a great mixture of cultures, of religions,